So very good morning to you all, and welcome back once again. And we are going to discuss on the topic with respect to um, fundamentals of data analysis. And here we are going to talk about exploring data analytics. And here in the topic we are going to talk about is calculate and interpret common descriptive statistics. This is the topic we are going to talk today. Now, the characteristics of a data set. See, any data set, the characteristics. Now, how does that various features of a data is very clearly understood with respect to various numerical measures. Now, these are the numerical measures which basically make you understand what is the type of the data we are looking at, right? Because that is the basic understanding which anybody should definitely have. Now, these are called measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, and measures of position and measures of kurtosis. These are the four measures of a data set. These are the four measures where we can actually completely understand the characteristic of a data set. So measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, measures of position, and measures of kurtosis. Now, and a measure of skewness. There is one more thing which is also there. So measure of central tendency, measure of dispersion, measures of position, measure of kurtosis, and measures of skewness. So this will give a complete understanding of the characteristics of the type of the data set. Now, what is descriptive statistics? That is what we are discussing today. Now, descriptive statistics is the type of statistics, it's a method in statistics, which basically help you to collect the data, summarize the data, present the data, and analyze the set of the data. So this is actually the descriptive statistics. Here, which is also helping you to collect, summarize the data, present it, and analyze the set of data. Now, these are the example mean, median, mode, standard deviation, table charts, etc. are examples of a descriptive statistics. Now, here we are going to talk a very important thing, which is called the measures of central tendency. So what is it we'll talk about? See, in many practical situations, see, we need one single value to understand the entire scenario or a set. Okay, suppose we talk about stock market in a day. How is the performance of the stock market in a day? We may need to understand with one single value. Okay, so today the drop has been this much, example. So today the growth has been this. So we need one single value. So here comes the concept of average. Because as I told you, it's very, very important that we understand the data with a very single value, right? And central tendency is a measure exactly that. Central tendency is nothing but it gives you a set of measures and where we get an only single value, and based on the value, we can really understand the data set. It's a measure, right? The representative of the value represents the entire pattern, or it's a representative value of the entire group of data, right? It's a representative value of the entire group of data. And these are the three common measures of central tendency. One is actually the mean, the median, and the mode. Okay, so it is also a central tendency is also defined as a single value that is used to describe the center of the data set. Okay, so that is why it is called central value. Next is mean. Mean, as we know, arithmetic mean is a very common measure of central tendency, and it's understood by using the formula where we take all the sum of the values in the numerator and we divide that by the sum of the values in the denominator. Okay, so numerator consists of sum of the values, denominator consists of the number of values in the data set. So we get an average, right? The simple example where there are 9 data points and there are some negative values as well. So how do you calculate a simple mean is take the sum of all the values 2 plus 5 plus 8 up to minus 4, and then there are 9 data points, that is the denominator. So average is 2.8. So this is actually the mean of this particular data. The median is nothing but the middle value. Okay, when all the values are placed in the order of size. The middle value when all the values are placed in the order. Order of size means ascending order descending. For example, let us take this data set 5, 13, 9, 7, 1, 9, 2, 9. First we put it in the ascending order or descending order either way. And what you can see is we have a middle value of 9. So to its left of 4 values, to its right of 4 values, this is the median with the middle value. So here where we have odd numbers. Okay. So there are 9 numbers, right? When you have even numbers, you can't distribute equally, right? So then we'll have to do two middle numbers average. Once you do it in the ascending order, okay. So then you take two values. So here 5 to the left, 5 to the right, and two values, and the average of it is the mean. So this is then good for the even. The mode is a value that occurs most frequently. So that is called a mode. So if we talk about this data set 24545 and 24555, so actually the mode is 5 in this particular case. Now ungrouped data, as I already told you, it is actually a raw data, which is how data normally it is collected from the source. And group data, it is actually bundled into categories. This is an simple example of a frequency distribution table. So this is an example of a raw data. And so that's it for the day. Thank you very much for patiently listening to us. Thank you.